Now, we've all heard of the age-old debate of fixed mindset versus growth mindset. But what if I told you that most of the leaders, influencers, and those amassing great wealth in the 21st century have in fact had a dual mindset, a mindset that ensures the stability of the fixed ideology yet the opportunities of growth thinking? Let me take a step back. So, fixed mindset asserts that our intelligence and abilities are more or less unchangeable. And then we have the growth mindset, a term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck for the idea that everyone can be transformed with effort, dedication, and perseverance. For a moment, think of all those pioneers of technology who basically revolutionized the way we live and work. They had the stability of existing knowledge and systems, but would constantly look for ways to push the boundaries and innovate to get the next best thing out. If this wasn't so, we would have today either focused on staying stuck to our Nokias and Blackberries, or be in a situation of a constant need to improve and never have the innovation see the light of day. The danger of this relentless quest for growth in a growth mindset is easier to understand from technology point of view, especially with the help of the concept of MVP. Now, MVP is this fundamental concept in technology firms translating to minimum viable product, which emphasizes that the release of a product with those minimum features is required to satisfy some of those early users. So in reality, the concept focuses on delivering value quickly, learning from the user feedback, and iterating. But what if we never brought out that first iPhone to the market? This is one of the issues with a growth mindset, where it's easier to get trapped in this perpetual cycle of improvement. So for you and me, it could turn into this reluctance to share the real me, the authentic me. Unfortunately, for some users, it could also mean a constant need for perfection. That perfection, though, may not be as bad on its own, but if clubbed with the fear of failure, could mean stress, anxiety, and sadly, that reluctance to take risks. Sometimes when we're constantly obsessed with growth and wanting to better ourselves, we're also more prone to comparing ourselves to others that are growing around us. How many times have you felt that while you were putting in blood, sweat, and tears, others around you seem to be getting luckier in getting what they want? Some part of this is our perception, and in some parts, it's also what we feed our mind. So while we compare ourselves with others around us, we start to feel like we don't deserve the accomplishments that come our way. And while imposter syndrome could be loosely used in workplaces for this feeling, what really helps change the mindset is celebrating that personal progress, our unique journey, and not being impatient for results. The problem is our short-term focus pushes us to expect immediate results. But while this may burn us out, what we do not realize is that it can be counterproductive for our long-term goals. As soon as that happens, it's important for us to seek help, whether it's family, a friend, or even a mindset coach like myself, because while our social upbringing may have pushed us to think asking for help as a sign of weakness due to how we associate independence to the ability to solve issues for ourselves, in reality, it really shows strength to know when to take help or delegate certain responsibilities. In fact, our history shows that during World War II, Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, was known for his skillful delegation of authority. Today we call it the Eisenhower Matrix, but what it truly shows is that to lead from the front, you need to trust the people around you, but also trust the strength of your support. Sometimes with our focus on bettering ourselves, we forget to value the support system we frequently rely on to be better. And for all those reasons, I'm suggesting this middle ground, walking on this thin line, maintaining a balance of some sort between this crazy pursuit for personal growth while finding comfort in where we are. It's like anything else in our life, maintaining an extremely focused view of either fixed mindset or growth mindset makes us less resilient for any changes that life may throw at us. We want to grow, we want to learn, and we want to develop with a growth mindset. But unfortunately, with excessive focus on one way of approaching situations, we end up making impulsive decisions, start to develop these strained relationships, and sometimes even fall prey to our own emotional roller coaster. which was never our intent. But striving for that balanced approach and moderate approach helps us be more prepared for any challenges that may come up. And if you want to develop the balanced mindset, check out my video right here where I talk about leveraging your thoughts to build the life we want.